Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Paul's Workshop. Today we're going to take a look at something new we picked up off of eBay. So let's check it out. All right, well, hey guys. So I've seen this Vevor product out there. They're all over eBay, Amazon, etc. So I sold a couple of small items on eBay recently. And in return for my great sales, they gave me a $50 off of a purchase of, I think, 120 coupon. So I've been wanting one of these for a while, what's inside the box here. So with that and something else that I kind of wanted, it was like getting two for one. So let's take a look at what we bought here. We're going to do an unboxing. Here's our trusty clearance price box cutter from Walmart. It's a full 88 cents. Let's just cut right into this bad boy. All right, and what we have here, wow, they must be expecting me to blow a lot of fuses there. So we have a contact voltage regulator, or as most people will call it, a VARIAC. So let's take a look at a VARIAC here. It's a nice, good styrofoam packaging. All right, what's inside? I'll tell you, this thing is heavy. All right, that's how it comes out of the box. And let's see, this weighs. So we see what the weight is on this thing. So, let's see, 6.5 kilograms. So what is that? About 6.05 about 12, 13 pounds, right? The Varistat, and this is going to let us bring up our antique electronics to voltage very slowly. So let's test this out. Okay, we are going to cut the cord loose here, and we got a pretty decent quality plug on here. Feels like a nice heavy gauge wire, and we're going to plug it in. Okay, now we have our power here. We have our voltage meter that's going to show us how many volts we're putting out. Then we have two outlets here that we can do for our for plugging things into, obviously. All right, so power's on. We're at 0 volts here. We're at 0 volts up here on the top. And what I want to do is test this out. I want to see how accurate this meter is and how accurate the calibration is up here. And to do that, I'm going to use this auto ranging meter. This is a really good deal too. I think these were only a few bucks on Amazon as well, but comes in very handy. So let's get this started here. All right, as you can see, we're at 0. And let's turn up on our dial here we're going to turn it up to 10. So we're there at 10 up on top. And let's see, we're showing barely moving on the analog indicator. And our auto ranging meter is showing 8.3. Now let's crank it up to 25. So there we are, 25 up here on the dial. We're hovering around 24 here on the digital meter, and it's a little hard to see the analog. If we tilt it up a little bit, you can get a look there. So, we're about 25 on there as well. So yeah, pretty close, pretty good calibration wise. Yeah, let's move our dial up to 50. Now we're at 50 volts AC, and we're showing 50 volts on our analog meter, and our digital meter is just at about 51.6. All right, let's watch it crank. Here we go. We're going to bring it up to 80 volts. And this is showing 83 on the meter. And let's bring it down. Let's get a look at that analog dial there, if we can get a better look. And And I think, yeah, there's not a whole lot of resolution on that dial, but I would probably call that 80. Now, let's take it up to 110. So we have 110 on our analog indicator. Now we have 110 here on our, we're a little above 110 on the analog gauge. And our digital gauge is showing us at 112. So I mean, it's within that like 10% margin of error, right? Okay, now this is supposed to put out 130 max. There we are at, that's cranked all the way up on the, up here on the rheostat dial. And we're showing probably about 130 there. We're in the red zone telling us we're high. And 134 here on the dial, on the digital meter. All right, let's give this a little overview. So you got a nice metal case, really big chunky knob on here, easy to read indicator, fairly accurate based on what we saw with the meter. You get your instruction manual, and they're calling it contact voltage regulator. Give you a handful of fuses in there. Let's see what else we can look at here. So you got 3 nice chunky rubber feet. It's going to keep it from moving, keep it safe. They give you this, which looks like a place telling you where you connect your ground, although it's in red. Doesn't really make sense. But you got overload protection. You have a lighted on-off switch, a little bit of a pilot light. Here's where your fuse goes. You got an analog meter, which a little on the cheesy side. This one actually says a little bit of a crack in it. I don't think that's worth sending it back or complaining about, but and then you get your instruction manual here. All right, and here you get your instruction manual. So contact regulators do not lack fidelity in waves. Portable size, lightweight, high efficiency, convenience to use, reliability and durability in movement. It can be widely used in the industries. Scientific experiments, public facilities, household appliances to realize the aims of voltage regulation, temperature, light regulation, and power control. So we're looking at a few different models here. So we have this one. Yeah. So 15. This says max 20 on here. On here it says max 15. I don't know. But they tell you got built-in temperature protection, etc., overload protectors. And then we continue to be committed to save half price, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. So there's the instruction. Not much in the way of instructions, but if you're buying one of these, you know what you're using it for. Nice bright orange. That's a good size. Like, look, I mean, that's a big, nice chunky tool. So no complaint. So if my wife saw this, she would probably ask the same question you might be asking. Paul, what the hell do you want that thing for? Oh, look at this radio here over my shoulder. When you pick up these antique radios, it's nice to bring them up to voltage slowly. That VARIAC is going to let you do that. Okay, for what those things run on eBay or on even Amazon, they're a good deal. To be able to you could pick them up used, but you're going to pay probably the same thing for them used. $30-$40, and they're 50 years old or something. Are they made better? They might be, but yeah, this does the job, and it looks like it's accurate and it's working. So we'll put it through its paces with different projects, and you'll see it on the bench in other future episodes when we work on our electronics and some of our antique radios and things. Well, hey guys, thanks for checking this one out. I really had a good time just looking over this new toy we got here, new tool. You'll definitely be seeing it in future episodes when we're testing out some of our antiques. But if you like what we do here, make sure that you like, subscribe, tell a friend. And we'll catch you next time here on Paul's Workshop. Goodbye.